Let's get something straight. There is two category of people. Category number one is those who from the beginning they know exactly what they want to do. They know who they want to be, they know what they want to study, they know what career they want to go to. They know exactly the process that they need to take in order to reach their goals and their potentials. And there is a second category. People who absolutely have no idea what they want to do. They have no idea where they want to go, how they want to do it, what process they need to take, and where they need to start. There's a good news, there's a bad news. The bad news is that if you're not in the first category, things might be a little bit difficult for you. The good news is that majority of people, 99.9% of people, fall into the second category. Now, I'm not going to sugar things up and say, oh no, you have everything figured out. You should have everything figured out. Just sit down, focus, meditate, and everything will be solved. No, that's not the case. Majority of time, we have absolutely no idea where is it that we want to go. And the thing is that there is nothing wrong with that. We're so focused. The problem is that we're so focused on instant gratification that if we don't know the answer to something, that means it's something bad. When in reality is that when we don't know the answer to something, that makes it interesting. That makes it a challenge. That makes it an obstacle that every time we pass by one stage of it, we get closer and closer to our true destination. The goal shouldn't be to figure everything out, because the very moment that we figure everything out, then it's boring. There is no fun into it. The goal should be to discover, or rather rediscover ourselves. Find out what is it that you really like. What is it that you really connect with? Who is it that you want to become? And if in the process of doing so, it means that you're not gonna be where you want to be exactly on the time that you should be, that's okay. We have to stop punishing ourselves. We have to stop forcing ourselves and have this high expectation of ourselves to achieve something at a certain time, because realistically that's not possible. So the best thing you can do for yourself, here's my little advice for you. Give yourself a little bit of self-compassion. When was and answer this honestly to yourself, when was the last time that you sat down and gave yourself the credit that you deserve for everything that you have done? Was it yesterday? Was it last month? Was it last year? Or, oops, you haven't done that for a while. So sit down and stop punishing yourself for not having the answer. Because majority of people are in the same boat as you are. Now, by no means I agree with the notion of comparing one person to another, but you're here because you have compared yourself to other people. You have seen someone else achieving something else, and you wondered, should that have been me? Or you ask yourself, what am I doing? So if you're in the process of comparing yourself with other people, I tell you what, you're not the only one. A lot of people go through the same thing. And it's absolutely normal to feel confused, to feel lost at times, and not have the answer. The problem is not being confused or being lost. The problem is the lack of our emotional management. The problem is not having stress, rather the problem is not knowing what to do when we're stressed. Being stressed, being anxious, being overwhelmed is a gift. And the moment that you start looking at it as a gift, that's the moment that you start recognizing that you have a chance, that it's something beautiful. Because now instead of being worried, now you say, oh, something is not right. I need to fix this. And you have to stop looking at people and and just wanting them to say something good about you, because that's not gonna happen. You have to change your mentality. Let me give you an example. Imagine if I come up to you and if I say, hey, that orange shirt that you're wearing with all of those flowers all over it. Actually, that sounds like a really cool shirt, but let's say if I came up to you and I said, that orange shirt that you're wearing with those flowers on it, it looks ridiculous, especially with your blue hair color. You look ridiculous. You look terrible. What are you gonna say? Are you gonna be upset? No, you're gonna look left and right and say, what are you talking about? You're crazy. My hair is not blue. I'm not wearing an orange shirt with flowers. You're gonna look at me like I'm delusional. You're gonna look at me like there is something wrong with me. That's how we should look at these problems. That's the golden key. Because you're so sure that your hair is not blue, and you're so sure that the t-shirt or the shirt that you're wearing is not orange, it doesn't have flower on, that you reject everything that I say. You know, the same goes with ourselves. If I come up to you and I say, hey, you're behind. Hey, there's something wrong with you. Hey, you're bad at what you're doing. You have to change your mentality. You have to believe in yourself. You have to trust your process. You have to trust the place that you are, to a point that if I said something like that to you, it sounds as illogical as if I would have told you that you're wearing a orange shirt with flowers on it with the blue dyed hair and it looks ridiculous. Now, excuse my English putting them together, but I feel like I can get the point across. So that's how you should look at yourself. You shouldn't punish yourself for a stage that you haven't achieved. Rather, you should embrace yourself for what you have accomplished, for what you are doing at this point, and trust the process. Be open to the process. Be open to the change. Be open to you being you and you experiencing the things that you like, the things that makes you who you are. That's the only way that you're gonna reach your goals and you're gonna become successful. If you fixate on the things that you don't have, you will never have the things that you want to have. You will always be lacking. But if you embrace the abundance of your possibilities in your life, you become the best that you can be. Be open to the things that you love. Be open to the notion that makes you who you are. And as always, thank you for watching. Wish you guys all the best, and I'll see you guys on the next one.